A little while ago, I bought this little Bluetooth speaker from Amazon to use in our bathroom for music when we shower. But over time, we pretty much stopped using it because we had to press this button for several seconds to let it connect to our phone and then fight to get it to connect to the right phone and then go in and select what music we wanted. And yeah, it was just a pain. So since we've been recently developing our own voice assistant controller board, I decided I'd use one to take this thing up a notch and cut out all of that faff. Okay, and inside there was this. A little controller with some buttons and a LiPo battery. But we're going to do away with all of this and pop one of these inside. This will mean it will need to be permanently powered, but that's fine because I made sure to install some USB ports in my bathroom when it was renovated last year. Now the first thing we need to do is flash this with some code. And after a lot of tinkering, I finally got some working YAML code in ESP Home, which does exactly what I want, which I'll post later on my website and or GitHub. And there we have it, code flashed and it's up and running. Now to check whether the thing is going to fit neatly the way I want it to inside the speaker, and move on to soldering the wiring. To sit where I want is impossible. Feel free to roast my soldering down in the comments, but if it works, it works. Absolutely beautiful. So, this is my proof of concept soldered and wired. I could probably turn the fan off while I'm saying this. And here it is added into Home Assistant, and I can select the speaker and I can pick a sound to play on it. And it is working. So on to the next steps of putting it back together. Unfortunately, whilst I was preparing to stick the board down inside the speaker, I noticed a little problem with the soldering. Turns out that roasting was warranted. Oh no. Okay, fixed that soldered joint, tinned it up a little bit better, reconnected it. Prove it's working, and now stick it down as centrally as I can so that in the middle there, that blue button is hopefully going to line up again with the play pause for when I get that working. And then we can give it another test. All seeming pretty good. And get the top back on, which goes on that way. Well, let's give it another test. Ooh, sounding a lot louder now it's got its enclosure on. And that definitely feels like it's pressing the button. Can we get it to do its lights and see if we can see those? Yeah, they're just about visible. Cool, so now let's give it a final run of tests. If we select the media player here, we can just pick some audio to play. Yeah, that definitely seems to work. And hey Jarvis, turn off the study lights. Well, it did it. Sounded a bit crackly. I'll have to figure that out. And with all that said and done, we now have this Franken monster with one of our voice assistant controller boards fitted neatly inside, ready to permanently power in my bathroom. The fantastic thing about this now is that I never need to charge it. It connects directly to my Wi-Fi and appears like any other media player in Music Assistant within Home Assistant. So now I can automate playing music in my shower when the humidity goes above 90%, which it only ever does when we turn the shower on. So we pop the shower on to warm up. By the time we get in there, music starts playing like magic, and I can even still use this button as a play pause button whilst in the shower. And that's it. While this is now a technically working voice assistant controller board, there is a little bit more work to be done. We are tweaking the design a little bit based on the experience that I just had, and I need to do a little bit more work on the code side before I publish that as well. but do keep an eye out on my website, as this will hopefully be listed very soon. It does include a TDK microphone and the Max audio DAC, which everyone seems to use, so really common and well supported components amongst the community. And it's even got this little blue button here, which I mentioned as well, and it all powers from 5-volt USB-C and has the most common speaker connector here and solder pads on the back in case your speaker of choice doesn't have that connector. And of course it is for 4 ohm speakers. If you like videos like this one and builds like this, be sure to follow me, subscribe, and support the channel in any way you can using the links over on my website. I have my Patreon, I have my TikTok subscription, and a YouTube subscription coming very soon as well. And as always, remember, home is where the smart is.